So first myth is software is better than implementing devices. The first point is software is better than implementing devices. So it is not a devices we can, device means we can feel the devices, we can wear or anything, we will do anything. But software programs are theoretically known to change indefinitely with alterations in the code only. So we can change the code or we can interact with the external factors and also the reusability factors. So software is better than implementing devices, and the devices also some of the time boundary. And the next one is reusability ensures better solutions. Because the softwares are developed as a module or the component, it is called the module or the component or the small task. So this module can be reused in the another new software, like a bolt and net போட்டு நம்ம ஏதாவது component connect பண்ணிக்கிற மாதிரி, the software module can be used in another software also, because the same logic or same function is available in the new software. We can use that the previous software module or the component. That is called the reusability. That is a separate chapter. And additional features add efficiency. Once the product is developed, after delivered to the customer needs any additions and deletions or the any particular feature means we can add to the software. So that is in the maintenance phase. So additional features can be possible in the software. And next one is one myth is there, more designers more delay. ஸோ ஆளுங்க நிறையா இருந்தாங்கன்னா அங்கே வந்து கண்டிப்பாக வந்து டைம் வந்து அதிகம் எடுக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு வந்து மைத்ஸ். ஸோ மோர் designers because the development team comprises of the number of software engineers with specialized knowledge. The software development team comprises or consists of different software engineers with different specialized knowledge. So every component or the modules are divided into different software development team based on their experience and their knowledge. If you are want to convey some message or there is some changes in the module or the product means it takes more time because the number of peoples are more. We want to convey all the peoples and all the people should cooperate and they should complete the work within a prescribed time and prescribed resources. So that is the very difficult in the software development. This is one of the myths. So there are the 4 myths. One is software is better than implementing devices. Then reusability factor. Third one is additional features can be added and more designers, more delay. So this is the some myths. The next slide. So there are 3 types of software. 3 types of software. One is inbuilt software and system-based software and application-based software. So inbuilt software means for the particular machine or particular mechanism, we will develop the software exclusive for that mechanism. If you want example, robotics. Robots are used in the military and the research areas or the some of the complicated areas, that robots are specialized with the particular software for operating that robots only. Particular mechanism, particular software is planned for that particular robot only, because that is used for only a particular work. So that is called the inbuilt software. So inbuiltly software is developed and it is also the hardware components also developed and final product will be delivered. Next one is system based software. So system based software, suppose you are starting your system. Example, you are start your laptop. So on that place, operating system software is taken place. If you want to switch on your laptop or the desktop system, means it is, if you switch on the system, immediately your system will be booted. So for that, what is the reason behind that? Operating system software is developed and installed in your system. It may be a Windows or it may be a DOS operating system or any operating system software is already installed in your system for booting your computer or the laptop. So that is called the system software. And the next one is application software. So application software is totally, you solve all the problems. So application software can be developed for any solutions. So this kind of software should deliver functionality or the service to the requesting users. So that is application software. If we want to, example, if we want to prepare the salary list for the faculty, means, so based on our college faculty, so the software is developed for preparing the salary. Otherwise, take your class test marks. I want to display or send your test marks to your parents. So what is the solution? That is through the mobile. We will write the application software for your test marks and also for send it to the parents. That is one of the example of application software. So inbuilt software means it is only for particular automobile or anything particular machine. And system based software means, so it is purely system based on the systems troubleshooting, then adding the printers, deleting the printers, and add your camera and scanner. All the things are the system based softwares. And application software, any kind of software based on the user requirements, that is called the application software. Dandabani? Dandabani.
Ma'am.
Shall we go to next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this topic, why study software engineering, we already discussed once again, and I presented here. I present here. So the basic of any software development, software engineering, why we are studying this subject, software engineering, means it is the basic of any software development. It helps to produce reliable, reusable and quality software because of the methods and the procedures are available in the software engineering. And software engineering understand the customer needs and develop the software because the requirement analysis is there. And next one is, it helps the developers to understand the discipline of software life cycle. We will see in the next chapters what is software life cycle. And it helps to develop software in the efficient way. It helps to develop the software in the efficient way without any unwanted steps. And the software engineering teaches the best practices to the software development team or the software practitioners. And software engineering helps to write software which can be integrated easily with other software. So these are the why we study the software engineering. The next slide, IEEE definition. So this IEEE definition, it is an important definition. Throughout the world, this organization, Electrical and Electronics Engineers, this is the organization of International Electrical and Electronics Engineers. They are defined the sum of the terms. They are also giving the quality, anything quality related certificate also. So software engineering is a systematic approach to development, operation, maintenance and retirement of software. So software engineering definition means in your exam or the test, software engineering means you should write this definition. So take this one. Software engineering means you should write the definition, this only, IEEE definition. A systematic approach to development, operation, maintenance and retirement of software. So there are the software development life cycles. If you take any product, there is a life cycle from starting to the end stage. The same thing in the software also. So first one is requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing and maintenance. This is simply called SDLC. The software development life cycle is simply called SDLC. You should remember this SDLC throughout the software engineering subject. So there are the models available. There are two main models. One is a waterfall model and another one is a V life cycle model, and different models, a number of different models are available. These are the very two basic models in the SDLC. So IEEE definition, software engineering is a systematic approach to develop the software, operation and maintenance and retirement of the software. This is the IEEE definition. Wherever we ask the definition means you should write this software engineering definition, IEEE definition only. Then software product attributes, there are mainly maintainability, dependability, efficiency, usability. So maintainability means after delivering the software to the customer, if they want any addition or deletion, the futures means we should have the document and we should have the development team also. So that is the maintainability. Then dependability means the requirements should be fulfilled by the software development team, and the integration and the external resources all should be integrated with this software. And the next one, efficiency. So efficient working product should be developed. And usability, it should be a user friendly and anybody can use this software. That is the usability. So these are the software product attributes. We will see the next. So here the efficiency and cost. So there is a efficiency versus cost. This is in the efficiency in the x-axis and cost is in the y-axis. So it is proportionally increased. Efficiency and the cost is proportionally increased. So that's why we don't want, we should not write the unwanted steps, unwanted logical things, and don't waste the manpower, time and the resources. So the cost and efficiency is based on this area. Then generally, if you take any engineering process model, if you develop any machine or anything, there is a specification. This is the color, this is the size, this is the model, and this is the integration interface between the outer. These are the some of the specification in the engineering process model. So specification, and there is a design, anything that should be a format. That is the design. And manufacturing means there are a number of manufacturers available and built the system and test. Before going to deliver the any product, there should be a checking team is there and check the system and install. After deliver to the system or the product, there should be an installation team and installed in the customer side and then maintain. So any repair or any fault is there, there should be a repair team or the recovery team is there in the engineering process model. The same thing in the software engineering, but it is the different. Software engineering is different from the engineering model. So specifications are incomplete because the requirement specifications are given by the user or the customer. The customer all of a sudden or within a one specific period, they are not giving the full specifications. The specification means the customers are giving the specifications. They are not all of a sudden or one time they are not giving the specifications. Their change mind will be changed time to time. From one time they are telling I want these specifications. After the partial development of the software, I need this future also. So specification is not a complete one, it is a incomplete. And very blurred distinction between specification and manufacturing. So because of this incomplete, there is a differences in the design and manufacturing also. Manufacturing here means writing the code or construction the software. And we are not physically realize the software. So only because of the testing, that is verification and validation only, we can realize the software, whether it is developed based on the customer requirements or not. So the same software does not wear out. So in the software, in the ordinary engineering model, if there is any failure means we can change, we can install the new part, or we can take that, remove that part, and we can install the another part. In the software, we are not throw away the software, we can add the recomponent or the some of the instructions to the system, I mean the software. So software engineering is different from the ordinary engineering model. And ethicals, anything you take, there should be a ethics. So ethical issues in the software also, there is a ethical issues. In our lab also there is no ethics. If you are doing the laboratory classes, you are copying your friend logical code and enter into the area, into your user login area. That is not a ethics. So if you should write the program, you should write the logic. That is the ethics. And also confidentiality. Confidentiality, don't deliver the code, I mean the programs to the others. So once the software development is in the bigger issues, once the software is developed, that should be maintained confidential. The door coding or the instruction or manual should not publish anywhere. That is confidentiality. Competence. So competence may be within the software development team and within the another software development team. Once one version is developed means in the next version there should be a competence in between the same software. And intellectual property rights, you know what is intellectual property rights? Your concept, your program logic are owned to, or you are the owner to the particular logic and particular program. So that is called the intellectual property right. So nobody is related to your logic or the program or the source code. So you are the owner of the particular program. If you are deliver the concept, if you are write the program, means you are the owner of the software. That is intellectual property right. Then computer misuse, that's the same thing. Computer misuse, copying one from another or changing the code or taking the from I mean இப்பெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய security, cyber security we are studying, taking the or copying your entire screenshot to the another software, I mean another computer. So these are the ethical issues. So we should be careful in the ethical issues. The these only these titles, there is a subject in our syllabus that is called software forensics. One subject is available, software forensics. It is related to security, cyber security also available for this ethical issues. So two software, I mean ethical issues, two subjects are available in our syllabus. The next one, the difference between the large program and the smaller program. Before going to